All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, aviators. It is 3 o'clock and 1 minute p.m., 3:01 p.m. Oh, it's actually 3:02 now. It's funny. As soon as I said 3:01, 3:02 happened. As soon as I pressed the PlayStation button to look at the time, I guess when I said 3:01, he was already at the very end of the minute. So now it's 3:02, 3:02 p.m. I think in Vancouver it's 12:02 p.m. because it's 3 hour difference. 3 hour difference. But here in the East Coast it's 3:02. All right, so this will be a flight from Vancouver all the way to like the edge of Alaska, bro. This is like, we're talking like North Pole. Like really, literally, it's like North Pole. It's like the northern part of Alaska, which is the northern pole, the Arctic Circle. Basically, we're going way out to the Arctic Circle. And this one runway, it's a very snowy, icy runway, and it's a short runway. But this is where Pilatus PC-24, it's going to be tested to see how well can this plane stop on a rough, surface with snow and ice. So what better way to test this plane than to take it to northern part of Alaska? And we're going to northern part of Alaska. That's where we're going. That's our mission. And of course, my lovely co-pilot is here. We need to remove all of this. Of course, Baba Yaga. Of course. I think I already explained what Baba Yaga is and what it means and why I'm using it. Go watch that previous video. Let's remove everything and get ready. A lot of people asking me, well, why don't you try different planes? I'm like, well, I did. If you watch my YouTube channel, you will understand that I have tried, CJ4, Vision Jet G2, PC-12, and many other various airplanes, But you never tried Citation Longitude. Well, that's because I don't have Citation Longitude from Cessna. But do I really need Cessna's Longitude citation when I have this beauty right here? you know, you know what I'm saying? All right, so everything's removed. We're good to go. I think. Look how big that A330 is, huh? I think we're good. Everything's removed. Yeah. All right, Baba Yaga. What are you waiting for, Baba Yaga? I love it. I just love this plane. But no, in all honesty, I don't really feel like I need to fly any other plane other than this. I already flown CJ4. I might have flown this Longitude citation on the PC version. I think on the PC version I might have flown, but I think it was a 2020 version. It wasn't 2024 version. Some people are saying that the Longitude from Cessna, which is designed by Asobo for the video game, of course, but Cessna is the original company. Cessna produces, Citations, CJ4, and Longitude. But I don't know, maybe in the future I might try it when it goes on sale, But right now I really don't feel like I need to, because maybe if I get tired of PC-24, which will be never, I guess, but maybe, I don't know, we'll see in the future. I don't know. Here we go. Nice and spacey, PC-24. Everything's here, everything that you need. Easily accessible, Right above me. Electrical system, engine system, external lights, internal lights. Everything I need, it's all here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Vancouver ground, Babiaga 79er
Just like that.
Yankee. Request taxi for takeoff, east departure.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Babiaga 79er, taxi to and hold short of runway 08 right using taxiway 6 Juliet Lima cross runway 1 Tree Lima Lima 6. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Taxiing, hold short runway 08 right using taxiway 6 Juliet Lima cross runway 1 Tree Lima Lima 6, Babiaga 79er.
All right. Tune to 118.7. Okay. Will do. All right, let me just make sure the engines are running.
Pasco 452, turn next taxiway.
Yep. Things good. All the lights are there. That's what I wanted, the pulse lights. So that way the airplanes can see you better in the distance,
Pasco 452, turn next taxiway. Pasco 452.
So they don't think you are a UFO, They don't mistaken you for a UFO, unidentified flying object. When they see this LED strobing, they know you're not a UFO. Let's bring some passengers, huh? Let's bring some passengers over here. Hold on. Something I want to do here. Oh, what is this? This is a filtered water. This is a fridge. And this is a bathroom. Okay? That's right. I believe this is a bathroom and this is a fridge. Okay. One of the other, either this is the fridge or this is the bathroom. I don't know. I think one of the other. But I think this is the bathroom right here. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think so. And this is the fridge. Just big enough for you to sit in there and, take a shit, or take a piss. All right, let's get the passengers. We certainly need a lot of fuel, that's for sure. And seats, I think we'll make it a full house. This time around, it's a full house. Load immediately. There they are. Let's see what we have. All right, we got the passengers. They're in. Okay, I think we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll, huh? What do you say? Let's just make sure we turn the lights on in the cockpit a little bit. I like my cockpit lights to be lit up. The floodlights here, I want to make sure that they are blue. There we go. Panel lights, I want to make sure they're bright. Okay, also want to make sure flight director turned on. Altitude. There's a lot of mountains, so let's go up to. I'll play it safe. 10,000 feet, There's a lot of mountains, Rocky Mountains, British Columbia, and then you got Alaska on top of that. It's not Himalayas, it's not, Himalayas is like 24,000 feet. And then you got, Mount Everest, which is 29,000 feet. Think about that. 29,000 feet, man. Altitude. That's Himalayas, man. Gasping for air. Gasping for oxygen. It's pretty bad. And, you can't have any rescue. People say, why don't they? They can't. They have to leave the bodies there. It is what it is. The rescue, it's like a suicide. It's like a suicide mission. You really can't rescue. Honestly. They tried. It's just, it's the most unforgiving mountain there is. It's the Mount Everest. Why do people want to go there? I guess to test themselves. But you know what? I don't want to test myself. It's disrespectful. Like, why do I want to? I just don't get it. I don't understand why people do it. Like, what are you trying to prove? That you get lucky, and you get there and you get lucky.
Tower, Air China
You know what I mean?
992 at runway 08 right, ready for departure, IFR to Beijing.
You know that you're taking a huge risk climbing out the Mount Everest.
Air China 909.
So it's like,
altimeter 3046 traffic is bombardier.
why would you want to disrespect the Mother Nature? Like, I just don't get it, man. Like, people who do this kind of stuff, like, what are you trying to prove? That you better? You're at the mercy of Mother Nature and God, and you got lucky. And why do you want to take that risk, man, and gamble with your life? I just don't understand the whole thing climbing out to Mount Everest. Like, why are you gambling with your life, dude? To prove what? But anyway, that's just me. Anyway. Let's go ahead. Let's take off. People have to start respecting the nature, man. You're not bigger than nature. You're not bigger than God. You're not bigger than universe, man. Just shrink down your ego, man, and calm down, you know. I just don't understand the whole concept of like, oh, I want to climb the Mount Everest. And you're gambling your life. All right, let's go. People can do what they want to do. They can climb whatever they want to climb. They can swim with the crocodiles. They can dance with rhinos. They can, you know, play around with lions, tigers. Do what you want to do. You can swim with the great white shark. I don't care. But it's just, you know, how about a common sense? Like, what am I doing? Like, what is this for? You know. Even Tom Cruise, I don't get him. Like, you're still gambling your life, dude. What if that cable breaks and then you fall from the building? Who can guarantee you, Tom Cruise, that the one day that cable's not gonna break? Who can guarantee you the one day a freak nature of accident can happen? Like, you're gambling your life, dude. And a lot of people told him that. But you know, Tom Cruise doesn't listen to anybody. You got lucky. Yes, you prepare, but maybe the one day, the one mistake, and it can cost you your life, dude. Like, I just don't understand the mindset of Tom Cruise. Like, what are you trying to prove, dude? Like what is it? Is it an ego thing? Like, what is it you're trying to prove? You're an actor, dude. That's what you are. Be an actor. You don't need to do these unnecessary stunts, man. And even actors told him this on the previous Mission Impossible. It's like, dude, you don't need to do this. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to do this, man. I just don't understand the whole daredevil, you know, like, what are you trying to prove? You know. I don't get that. Maybe it's just me, but I'm just looking at it from a like common sense perspective. Why people do things that they do, it just doesn't like make any sense to me. Like, you're gambling your life, dude, and you know you only got one life, dude, and you're gambling that's a huge gamble, dude. You know, it's not like you can respawn and come back like in a video game. You know, it's like you're gambling your life, dude. It is not worth it. You know, and what are you trying to prove? You know, but anyway, that's just me. People can do whatever they want to do. It's their life. You know, it's their choice. But from my perspective, I just don't understand it. Like, same thing with climbing the Mount Everest. Like, you know, what are you trying to prove? That you got lucky, and the gods of Mount Everest were lucky enough to give you that luck that one time, but maybe second time you won't be lucky. You know. Anyway, let's go. That's just me. That's just my perspective on that. All right, let's go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Today we're flying with Pilatus PC-24. And this is my lovely co-pilot.
Vancouver Tower, Porter 264 at runway 08. Right, ready for departure, IFR to Ottawa.
Porter 264, altimeter tree 046. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
And of course, we're on PlayStation 5. I think everybody knows I'm on PlayStation 5. Couldn't be more happier with PS5 version. And you guys know how I feel about Pilatus. I love Pilatus PC-24. I think I already made that clear. This is one of my favorite planes to fly, you know. And I have flown many different other ones. They're all good, but this is to me like the Volvo of private jets. It's just creme de la creme. It really is. Hold on. They need a light. I think they're already complaining. It says, where's the light? Don't worry, we'll get you the light. Oh, and no smoking, alright? Turn your seatbelt on. What I mean by turn your seatbelt on, meaning connect your seatbelt, alright? Let me get the light. I said, what I mean by turning the seatbelt off, ma'am, turning seatbelt on means that you have to connect your seatbelt for your safety. Got it? All right. It's right behind you. All right. Ma'am, you see that seatbelt behind you? It's there for a reason. Ma'am, I'm not going to have an argument with you, okay? You're going to put that seatbelt on, all right? That's why we have a seatbelt on sign, all right? What, you can see it? It's right here. It says, put the seatbelt on, all right? Anyway, I'm the captain. I'm telling you right now. That's right. I'm the captain. I'm telling you, put the seatbelt on. Man.
Vancouver Tower, flare 810 at runway 08. Right, ready for departure. IFR to Calgary.
Guys, seatbelt on, all right?
Hold short runway 08 right. Flare 810.
Seatbelt on means seatbelt on, all right?
Ready for IFR departure. Runway 08 right.
All right, let's go.
Flare 810, hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Emperor E170 on final.
Man, these passengers, I'm telling you,
Runway 08 right. Flare 810.
they don't listen.
Vancouver Tower.
You tell them something, they just don't listen. They just don't listen, man.
IFR to Calgary.
Flare 810, hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Emperor E170 on final.
Hold short runway 08 right. Flare 810. Vancouver Tower. Flare 810 ready for departure. Runway 08 right. IFR to Calgary.
Flare 810, hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Emperor E170 on the runway. Airsprint 814, turn next taxiway.
Hold short runway 08 right. Flare 810. Vancouver Tower. Flare 810 at runway 08. Right, ready for departure. IFR to Calgary.
Flare 810, hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Emperor E170 on the runway.
We have to wait for this plane to take off first.
Hold short runway 08 right. Flare 810.
Airsprint 814, turn next taxiway. Airsprint 814, contact ground on 127.15. Flare 810, altimeter tree 046 traffic is Airbus A330 on final. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
Look at the traffic, huh? I didn't know in Vancouver the traffic is this bad.
127.15, Air Sprint 814.
Clear for takeoff runway 08 right. Flare 810.
Vancouver Tower, Porter 482 at runway 08 right, ready for departure. IFR to Hamilton. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Boeing 737 on the runway.
Vancouver International is pretty busy on Friday. Well, it's Friday. It is Friday.
Hold short, runway 08
It is
right.
Friday. What am I saying? It is
Vancouver
Friday.
Tower, Porter 482 at runway 08 right, ready for departure. IFR to Hamilton. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Boeing 737 on the runway. Air India 185, exit runway when able. Hold short, runway 08 right.
I guess I can have a gummy bear, huh? I can have a gummy bear, huh? Why not?
Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right.
I'll have a gummy bear. Why not?
330 on the runway. Flare 810 contact Vancouver, departure on 132.3. Good day. Air India 185, exit runway when able. Hold short, runway 08 right, Porter 482. Vancouver Tower, Porter 482 at runway 08 right, ready for departure. IFR to Hamilton. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Airbus A330 on the runway. Vancouver Tower, Bobby Aga 79er at runway 08 right, ready for departure. East departure. Air India 185, exit runway when able. Bobby Aga 79er hold short, runway 08 right.
Okay.
Hold short, runway 08 right, Bobby Aga 79er. Air India 185, contact ground on 127.15.
We have to wait for this guy to go first, and then she'll let us know.
Hold short, runway 08 right, Porter 482. Vancouver Tower, Porter 482 ready for IFR departure, runway 08 right. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08.
127.15, Air India 185.
Hold short, runway 08 right, Porter 482. Vancouver Tower, Porter 482 at runway 08 right, ready for departure. IFR to Hamilton. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Bombardier DHC 8 on short final. Hold short, runway 08 right, Porter 482. Vancouver Tower, Porter 482 ready for departure. Runway 08 right. IFR to Hamilton.
Oh, come on already. Huh? Come on.
482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Bombardier DHC 8 on the runway. Aero Caribbean
I'm getting
901,
pregnant over here.
Turn next taxiway.
I'm getting pregnant by the time we get the clearance.
Hold short, runway 08 right. Porter 482.
Come on.
Vancouver Tower. departure. Runway 08 right. IFR to Hamilton. Porter 482 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Bombardier DHC 8 on the runway. Aero Caribbean 9011. Turn next taxiway.
What the hell? We'll be here for a while.
Tower, United 1708 ready for IFR departure. Runway 08 right.
United 1708 hold short, runway 08 right. Traffic is Bombardier DHC 8 on the runway. Aero Caribbean 9011. Turn next taxiway. Aero Caribbean 9011. Contact ground on 121.7. Bobby Yaga 79er, altimeter tree 046 east departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
Finally.
United 1708, altimeter tree 046. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right. Cleared for takeoff runway 08
Jesus.
right. Bobby Yaga 79er.
Finally, huh?
Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right. United 1708. One to 1.7. Aero Caribbean 9011.
I thought I had it right away. What's going on? I'm fine, whatever. Finally, huh? I think I'm already pregnant. By the time they give me a clearance to go. And why is he going first? I thought I was supposed to be the one, but anyway. I guess I'm not the chosen one. Alright, so I need to get the clearance and stop here. You still need to get the clearance, okay? You still have to call in the ATC. You got to let the ATC know, hey, I'm ready for takeoff. And then they give you a go ahead, then you take off. Same thing when you're about to land at the airport.
708 contact Vancouver, departure on
You need to get a clearance for that specific airspace, right? And then you get the clearance to land. All right, so let's just get here. Let's line up perfectly, as it should be. Okay.
United 1708. Did you hear my last transmission?
Perfect. Okay, and she will do the rest. Okay, you know what to do. Come on.
United 1708.
Oh, she already did it for me. Whoa, you are the best. Come here. Come here. She already. Oh, come here. Come here. There you go. Here. There we go. There you go. Thank you. What a great co-pilot, huh?
708. Did you hear my last transmission?
What a great co-pilot, man. She did it. She did it, huh? All right, now we can go ahead and take off. We are ready.
Going to 132 decimal tree. United
Let me give you a little advice. Always start slow. Don't go full throttle. That's why you're going left and right on the runway. Go slowly. Okay? Slowly. gradually, slowly start. Okay?
Vancouver Tower, Porter Tree 06 ready for departure. Runway 08 right. IFR to Toronto. Porter Tree 06, altimeter Tree 046. Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
Okay. What the hell's going on? Wait! What the hell was that, dude? What the hell happened? Dude.
Cleared for takeoff runway 08 right.
Are you kidding me?
Porter Tree 06.
Dude. Are you kidding me? What? Yo. What the hell was that? You gotta be kidding me. I just said go slowly, and then the plane starts swerving left and right. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, bro. This is like the first time I had any... This is my first mishap. This is my first mishap with the PC-24. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know. I don't get it. Not sure what exactly happened. I mean, I don't know. The rudders were lined up, balanced. Not sure what the deal is. Not exactly sure what happened there. Alright, let's do this really quick. Oh my god, dude. You gotta be kidding me. That was my very first mishap that I have to encounter. I don't know what the hell happened. I lost, like, why did I lose the control? Why was it going left and right? The rudders were not, I wasn't touching the rudders. I wasn't moving the rudders. They were balanced, but it was moving to the left. It was moving to the right. Not exactly sure why. And then, I don't know why it was moving left and right. I mean, you've seen me on my previous live streams. You've seen me in my previous videos. I have never had any issues, but this is like my first mishap. I don't know what the deal is. We'll see what happens again. I mean, what the hell, you know. And I didn't have my gyroscope turned on either. Not sure. Not sure what the hell happened. I really don't know. Anyway, let's not, you know, waste our time talking about it. I don't know what happened. Your guess is as good as mine.
Vancouver ground, Bobby Yaga 79er with Yankee. Request taxi to the active. Departure to the east. Bobby Yaga 79er, taxi to and hold short of runway 08 right via taxiway 6 Juliet Lima cross runway 1 Tree Lima Lima 6. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready. Taxiing, hold short runway 08 right via taxi.
taxiway 6 Juliet Lima, cross runway 1 tree Lima Lima 6, Bobby Aga 79er.
Got it. All right. All right, we good. Not sure what the hell happened, dude. All right, we got everything. Passengers. All right, I guess we need passengers. Fine. All right, there they are. See where we going? See where we going? Way out there. Arctic Circle. All right, so we're good. Did I remove everything? I think I did. I don't know what happened. I really don't. It has never happened to me before. This like the very first time I had a mishap with this PC-24. Maybe it was I don't know, the video game, the runway was glitching or something. I don't know what the deal was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just call it my very first mishap. Mishap with PC-24. At least now we know where we have to go. Why is my waypoint missing? What the hell? All right, it's the same runway. I got it. I got it. I think the online servers are glitching a little bit because it's Friday. A lot of people are joining. You have to remember, this still requires online. You have to be online to use this. That's one of the issues. To render everything, you know. I mean, when it works, it's great. But when it doesn't, well, it sucks, you know. We'll see what happens here. Once we get the clearance. It's the same runway. Not really sure why I was weaving left and right. This makes no sense, you know. Maybe it was a glitch. Like I said, my very first mishap. Everything's lined up perfectly. I mean, let's get the clearance.
Vancouver Airport Information Yankee 2000 Zulu. Wind 104 at 11. Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 2200 broken. Temperature 8, 2.5. Altimeter 3046. ILS runway 08 right and ILS Yankee runway 08 left in use. Landing and departing runway 08 right and runway 08 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on Initial contact, you have Yankee. Vancouver Airport Information Zulu 2000 Zulu. Wind 104 at 11. Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 20. Vancouver Airport Information Zulu.
What's going on, dude? I can't even select my frequency.
Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 2200 broken. Temperature 8, dew point 5. Altimeter tree 046. ILS runway 08 right and ILS Yankee runway 08 left in use.
Yo, ATC's broken.
Runway 08 right
Oh,
and runway 08 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on it.
I can't even change a frequency. Are you kidding me?
Vancouver Airport Information Zulu 2000 Zulu. Wind 104 at 11. Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 2200 broken. Temperature 8, dew point.
Jesus Christ. You know what? We're taking off. We don't care. ATC's broken. I don't care. I'm taking off. ATC's not working. You know, when Mike's Flight Simulator 2024 works, it's great. But when it doesn't work, when it just sucks, you know.
Vancouver Airport Information Zulu 2000 Zulu. Wind 104 at 11. Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 2200 broken. Temperature 8, dew point 5. Altimeter tree 046. ILS runway 08 right and ILS Yankee runway 08 left in use. Landing and departing runway 08 right and runway 08 left. VFR aircraft safe. Vancouver Airport Information Zulu 2000 Zulu. Wind 104 at 11. Visibility 15. Sky condition, ceiling 2200. Bobby Yaga 79er, Vancouver approach. Squawk 7554. Vancouver Airport Information Zulu 2000 Zulu. Wind 104. Vancouver.
Roger, Bobby Yaga 79er.
You know, when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, it just sucks. You know, the ATC doesn't work properly, so everything's kind of screwed up. You know, but that's okay.
125.905 for Bobby Yaga 79er.
What? This is why you can rely on artificial intelligence. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it works, is great. That's the thing about Mike's Flight Simulator 2024. It's like a double-edged sword. People ask me, how would you review Mike's Flight Simulator 2024? it's a double-edged sword. The best way to review this software video game, it's a double-edged sword. It's like rolling the dice. You know, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But when it works, it's great. But when it doesn't, it just sucks. And this was one of the issues I had with the PC version and Xbox version. When it doesn't work, it just sucks so bad, man. You know, you can't even have a, you know, a nice, realistic flight experience, because when it sucks, it sucks. Yeah. But I gotta be honest, I've been using a PlayStation 5 version for 20 days now, and it's been pretty steady. But I guess more and more people are buying it on the PlayStation. More and more people are using the PlayStation version, so I guess it makes sense, you know. But you have to keep in mind, that's the best way to explain Microsoft Flight Simulator. When it works, 2 thumbs up. It's great. It's great when it works. But when it doesn't work, when it really sucks, 2 thumbs down. So it's kind of like a rolling the dice. Rolling the dice. It's, you know. So far, I've been lucky. It's been working great. But my God, if you look at past 5 years and just how bad it was. Remember the first one? The 2020 version on the PC? Jesus Christ. I spent 4 days just trying to install the game, dude. Excuse me, to download the game. Just to download the game took 4 days. Just to download the game, dude, took 4 days. And I don't know how long it took to install the game. I think it took the whole day just to install the game with all the updates. It was like total of like 5 days, bro. It wasn't until like the 6th day since the release of the original 2020. It was in August, I believe, of 2020 August. It wasn't until like the 6th day that finally I was able to get in and play. It's all documented. You can go back 2020 August and you'll see what I had to endure. So yeah, that was terrible experience. And of course there was all kinds of issues with let's be honest, when you know, this was a very ambitious project. And when it first came out on the PC, it was just a terrible experience, man. It was just, nothing was working, man. It was just horrible experience. And it took about 3 years to finally get everything polished, to get everything running. I think it was by 2023 when it finally, everybody said, wow, dude, now in 2023 we got a really good polished version of the game. And we're talking 2020, which I do have on the PC, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And then 2024 came aboard, which was November 19th, 2024. And when it was released on both Xbox Series X and S and PC, people couldn't even access the game on the release day. Remember, on the release day, people couldn't even access the game. It was that bad. But now, a year later, 1 year later, 2025, they fixed most of the stuff. So now it's well polished, well oiled, and PlayStation really got a well-deserved wait, you know. Trust me. Consider yourself lucky. Everybody on a PlayStation, consider yourself lucky that you have this well-polished experience. Because I know I'm bitching and moaning about a little mishap, so it's on me. That's just me. But in all honesty, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to like what the rest of us had to endure, had to experience with a 2020 version and a 2024 version. So everybody on the PlayStation, man, consider yourself lucky that you have this amazing experience, and that you're going to get also a PlayStation VR 2 on top of that. So that's why I said PlayStation 5 version, it's truly a breath of fresh air, because what I have experienced, what you also have experienced through PC and Xbox Series X and S was just terrible, you know. But here we are. So everybody on the PlayStation, consider yourself lucky. Not only do you get a well-optimized version of the game, but you're also getting a PlayStation VR 2. And that on itself, it's like an icing on a cake. It is. That on itself, by itself, meaning on itself, by itself, it's a icing on a cake that you will not get on the Xbox version. You know, Xbox really got it bad. Not only did they get like all kinds of problems with the with this game, and that they had to deal with, but they don't even get a virtual reality version that they can use, you know, because Xbox has no virtual reality. Why? But anyway. We're going to slow down a little bit. $7,400 feet. There we go. Right, that's the whole point, to see the mountains, right? Yeah, see, there they are. Let me adjust the heading a little bit. 350, 357. Turn on the light. %. 30%. 30% so I can see. Alright. Good. The only problem is the weather is not that good. So I don't know how much of mountains can we really see. You know what I mean? See where we are? British Columbia. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we are. And the weather doesn't look that good. Not good at all. Alright, let me remove the speed brake. Everybody good? Why, you want the table? Alright. Here you go. Sorry. You guys are so lazy. I have to do everything for you. We won't be able to see much of anything. Because these clouds, you know. I think we can descend. We can descend now a little bit. Lower the altitude. Like 5,400 feet. There you go. So you can see the mountains a little bit better. You know what I mean? This is nice. I like this. The one thing I would also recommend to a lot of you is the zoom. Go to the camera and go to the cockpit mode, and just zoom out as much as you can. Honestly, like I leave it at 3. Bring this down to 50 height. Wide angle, cockpit camera selection, wide angle. Because you want to have that nice field of view. Unless you are on a PC with an ultra wide screen, that's a different story. You don't have to worry about anything. You see, it's just better like this. You get a nice, field of view. You get to see everything. Oh, and another thing, I already talked about this. The not the Joy-Con. Joy-Con is Nintendo Switch too. The gyroscope. When you turn it on, make sure that it's like this, flat. Make sure that it's flat, not vertically but horizontally, like this. And when you do that, then it's really smooth. And you can see how smooth it is. It really is. So make sure that it's set horizontally, not vertically, like this. What I mean by horizontally is like this, not vertically like this. Because if you do this, then you got to do this. Then you're going to be all over the place. So you want to make sure that it's set like this before you activate it with the L1 and left thumbstick. That's how you activate and deactivate the gyroscope. I know I said Joy-Cons because I'm thinking Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch too. And I love my Joy-Cons on Nintendo Switch too. I do. I'm a huge Joy-Con fan. But I'm also a fan of this. This is good. Like, you don't have to buy. Everybody's like, oh, I want a I have T-Flight Hottest 4, and I'm not using it because I don't need it. I don't need it. This is fine. Maybe Ace Combat, if I'm playing Ace Combat 7, then yeah. And that's the only reason I purchased T-Flight Hottest 4. This is when I had my PlayStation 4 Pro. It was because of the Ace Combat 7. That's the only reason. But you don't necessarily need a Thrustmaster T-Flight Hottest 4. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. And I know some of you will say, no man, it's just better with a Thrustmaster. Okay man, if you want to waste money and purchase it, go ahead and do it. I'm telling you, it's not like absolutely necessary for you to have. I'll tell you what, even on my PC I'm not using my Velocity one, and I have a lot of yokes and flight sticks. And in past 5 years, I've purchased so many flight sticks and whatnot. What I'm simply trying to say, right out of the box, this works just fine. And you also can hear the ATC voice coming out of these speakers. How cool is that? You know what else Sony can do? Instead of your AI acknowledging the ATC, air traffic control. How about you use your own voice and talk to this controller? There you go. Asobo can utilize that as well. Instead of having a co-pilot talk or your player talk, you can talk to the ATC and just read what it says, right? All you have to do is just read and just say it, which I think would be kind of cool. It would be a good learning lesson. Yeah, Asobo, why don't you do that? Like with the ATC, you know what I mean? You can actually do this. Like, she doesn't have to read it for you. You can read it. You know?
Vancouver Center, Babayaga 79er, 13,400.
Like, I could be saying this.
Babayaga 79er, Vancouver Center, altimeter tree 01 tree. Radar contact, continue.
You guys catch my drift? Like, I could be saying this and reading this. Baba Yaga 79er, Vancouver Center, altimeter 3013, radar contact, continue. Or I could say, 125.95 for Baba Yaga 79er, Vancouver Center, Baba Yaga 79er, 13,400 feet. And then wait for the response from the ATC. Yeah, they can do that because how cool is that? You have a built-in microphone, so use the built-in microphone to talk to ATC, and also you can hear the ATC from the controller because the controller has a built-in speaker. See? How cool is that? Maybe Asobo can do that with the next update. Take the advantage of this. Why not? You guys understand what I'm saying? I think it's kind of cool. You're talking to ATC and then you can hear the ATC talk back to you from this controller. And then you put on the PlayStation VR2 headset. Well, guess what? With the PlayStation VR2 headset, you already have built-in microphone. Hello? Hello? PlayStation VR2 is going to be awesome. Let me tell you right now, this is nothing. Just wait. Just wait till they start rolling out the PlayStation VR2 update. PlayStation VR2 will change everything. For Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on the PlayStation 5. I know you can't see it right now. But trust me, you will see it soon enough. Keep my fingers crossed. Possibly spring. Maybe spring, So we'll see. Now's the time to purchase PlayStation VR 2. You have two reasons. One, Gran Turismo 7. I mean, come on. Gran Turismo 7, that's number one reason. And now you got number two reason, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So you got two reasons to justify the purchase of PlayStation VR 2. And don't forget, you can also connect PlayStation VR 2 to your PC. If you want to, you just have to buy the adapter, which is like $60. So I think you got three reasons to purchase PlayStation VR 2. But for me, this game alone and Gran Turismo 7 are two reasons. Enough of two reasons for me to justify PlayStation VR 2. I know you can't see it, but for those of you who never tried the VR, once you put on the VR headset, man, when you get transported into this Pilatus PC-24 or whatever it is that you're flying, you will not be able to like put the headset down, because you're going to feel like you're really there. You're looking out the window, you're looking at the scenery. It's just going to feel great. Just going to feel remarkable. It will be remarkable. And it will be the best experience, trust me. But I'm already impressed with PlayStation 5 version. The fact that it runs good. The fact that it runs well. Yeah, I had a little bit of mishap. You know, it happens. Some issues with the ATC, and then I had some issues on the runway. I was weaving left and right. Not sure exactly what happened, but that's nothing. In past 20 days, it's been just an amazing experience. For me personally. Look at British Columbia, huh? Look at British Columbia. Imagine you are stranded here, middle of nowhere, huh? Middle of nowhere, huh? You can't even tell which way is south, which way is north, because the forest down there, it's so dense. The forest and the trees are very tall and they're very dense. You can't even tell which way is which. Hey, look at this, middle of nowhere, middle of nowhere, middle of nowhere. And if this is not terrifying, look how middle of nowhere this is. Here. Look how middle of nowhere this is. Huh? 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 Then you start freaking out, right? You start panicking, anxiety attack, your heart rate starts going faster, shortness of breath, you get lightheaded, disoriented, and that's it. You're done. You're done. So, respect Mother Nature. You have to respect Mother Nature. But you also have to educate yourself. Like, what do you do if you're stranded? All right, you're stranded. I'm alive. That's good. That's a good news. I'm alive, right? I didn't die. I'm alive. I'm stranded. Yeah, it sucks. But hey, we can learn how to hunt. We can learn how to skin a deer, make some meat. But we have to be careful of the bears, because the bears are around, right? So educate yourself, learn. Where do you hide the meat? How do you cook it? Where do you cook it? Should you build a tree house? It's not a bad idea to build a tree house, climb up to the tree house, away from bears and wolves, right? It's easier said than done, right? But honestly, if you educate yourself, if you learn, and you have the will, to survive, to do what's necessary to survive, I think you will make it, even here. They might find you like 10 years later or 20 years later, and you're like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go to city. This is my home. I live in the forest. Well, technically, they would never let you stay in the forest, by the way, because Canada also has rules, right, where you can't just live in the forest. Like, you have to have a permit or something, I don't know, like even to hunt and just to live there. So they would take you in and they will bring you back to the city if they find you, which they will, and they'll take you back to the city. But in the meantime, you would be able to survive, you would be able to tell the story, write a book, go on a podcast, you know, do some speeches, go to the TED Talk, do some speeches, and then maybe they'll make a movie about it or a TV show about it on Netflix, right? And then you get to have a TV show on Netflix, and now you're a millionaire. It all pays off. You see how things can turn for the better? This is why you can never give up. This is why you always have to learn how to survive. You know, the easiest thing to do is just to give up, right? But the hardest thing is to move on, right? But that's why we do the hardest thing, because that's the whole point. Remember once JFK, John F. Kennedy, famously said, I think he said, he made a speech, he said, we decide to go to the moon and do the other things, not because they're easy, but because they're very hard, So he said all of these things. It's true, we do these things not because they're easy, but because they're very hard. Did we land on the moon? Wouldn't you guys like to know what I think? Did we land on the moon? Did we? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to tell you what I think. It's a very touchy subject. Did we land on the moon? Here's the thing, man. In the early 1960s, we were competing with Soviet Union. Soviet Union was huge. It was huge superpower. Now it's the Russian Federation. Still huge, still powerful, but Soviet Union was juggernaut, was huge. And of course, we were always competing with Soviets, with Soviet Union. And there was a competition, right? Because they were the first to send a cosmonaut. They call it astronaut, right? It's just another word for astronaut. In Russia, they call it cosmonaut. Yuri Gagarin, right?
Contact Vancouver Center on 1 tree,
All right.
4.0.
Yuri Gagarin, right? Yuri Gagarin was the first
1 tree 4.0.
cosmonaut to actually go out in the out of space orbit for I don't know how long, and then he came back. So Soviets were the very first one to go out in the outer space in the orbit, to send the moon out in the out of space in the orbit. And we never done that, and we were like, oh shit. So we needed to do something more extraordinary than just having a astronaut in the out of space, in the out of orbit. So we were like, why don't we go to the moon? But did we go to the moon? If going to the moon was so easy, why didn't the Russians go to the moon? Why didn't they send their people to the moon? Or did they? Did they send their people to the moon? It's a very touchy subject, man. It really is, like, it's a very, like, it's such a conspiracy that it really goes so deep. And it's like you go deeper and deeper and deeper. Some people say that it was very difficult for us to send a human to the moon because of the radiation. It wasn't so much, can we send somebody to the moon and land them and then, come back? It wasn't so much about that. It was more about the radiation. The radiation was the problem. Because we have to pass this radiation belt between us and the moon. And there's this radiation belt. I forgot the name of the belt. It's the radiation belt. So how do we go past this radiation belt? Do we go underneath? Do we go above? Can we do that? Would that be difficult? I don't know. And why haven't we gone back to the moon? Like, we're talking about Mars. Well, why don't we just revisit the moon? We're talking about Mars. So did we land on the moon? Look, man, I have a lot of questions. You know what I mean? Technology back then was not as advanced. And this issue with the radiation, how good is this lunar module lander designed to withstand the radiation? I don't know. I don't know. So there's a lot of questions that I have, regarding the whole moon landing. And why haven't we gone back there yet? And yet we're talking about Mars, which is even more difficult, and you're exposed to even more radiation. Are you kidding me? So there's a lot of questions, and all I'm going to say is I don't know. But I'll put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't land. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't land. But I also understand if we had to fake it, I think I understand why we had to fake it. Because of the competition of the Soviet Union and the Cold War, right? Even now, we're still in competition with Russia. They're building these supersonic, rockets, missiles. Now we want to build something bigger and better. Same thing with China. Now we got both Russia and China. We have to compete with those two. It's all about that power control competition. Who wields the biggest stick, right? The one that wields the biggest stick is the one that controls everything. So, did we land? I don't know. Honestly, I'm just going to say it like this. I don't know. Yeah, because I can't ignore, you know, even what's his name? I used to listen to him, Coast to Coast. What's his name? Oh my God. Art Bell. Even Art Bell says, I'd like to believe that we did go there. We sent all of these Apollo missions. We went there, right? Apollo 11, 12, 13, 14, right? We've been there. I would like to believe all of that. But part of him is like, just like I am, same thing with Art Bell. He's like, may he rest in peace, he passed away. He said the same thing, like, I would like to believe that we did go to the moon, but I cannot ignore all these other obstacles back in 1960s. The technology was not all that advanced. Computers were not that advanced. They were like calculator computers. Yeah, the computer processing power was like your calculator, dude. And the technology was not that advanced. And you got this radiation problem, this radiation belt between us, this radiation obstacle between the planet Earth and the moon, and you have to pass through that shit. And can our human body endure that? Right? Because we have to go through it and then come back again through it. That's double the dosage of double exposure of this high intensive radiation. And we're talking like, it makes Chernobyl radiation look like a walk in a park. Did you hear me? That's the kind of radiation we're talking up there. It makes Chernobyl radiation look like a walk in a park. So, just like Art Bell said, and I agree with Art Bell on the radio show when he was alive, when he talked about this, I like to believe that we did go there and we land and there's nothing there, just a bunch of sand. But I can't ignore all of these obstacles. That makes it very difficult, especially back in 1960s when we didn't have technology that we have now. But even with today's technology, it still would be a huge undertaking. Right? So these are the questions. You have to be realistic. Here's the thing, man. Unless we have technology that was given to us by aliens or something, I don't know. Like I said, unless we have something that was given to us that would protect us from the radiation and all this other shit, okay, fine. But I need evidence for that, obviously. Give me some evidence. But, I can't just ignore the realistic facts of what it takes to go out there to the moon, to land and then come back. Like, and we did this in 1960s. I can't, like, just ignore all these other obstacles. Like I said, I would love to believe that we landed, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Edwin Aldrin, right, that they all went there and they put the flag and they came back and they were celebrated as the heroes. I like to believe all of that. But the part of me is like, I don't know, man. There's still so many unanswered questions that NASA has never really explained. And then the question is like, well, why we never went back there? Why not go there? I don't know. Maybe built a base. I don't know. Maybe built a base. Why not? Why not go there and build the base? Huh? Don't you want to go there and build the base? Don't you think Russian would have done that already? Don't you think Chinese would done that already? Especially Russians. You think they would have done it? They would have gone there many times and built the base. So there's so much that you know, you have to use the logic. You have to ask logical questions. When I look at some of these conspiracies, I always ask, well, let's look at it like realistically. Can this be possible? Can we technically do it? You know what I mean? And things like that. So that's the way I look at it.